Hi guys, welcome back. Well, this morning the Asian markets are on a bit of a downtrend, you'd have to say. SGX Nifty is slightly in the red. Most markets, I think that warm, fuzzy feeling of the US-China trade agreement, that's faded, as someone very sweetly put it. And post that, a lot of these markets are coming off a tad bit. The Japanese market down about 150 odd points. But our research team is here to give you a list of top 10 stocks that you need to watch out for. Of course, HUL, Sun Pharma will be on our radar this morning. But Anuj, what are you looking at?
Yeah, Sonia, before that, just a word. I think Brent crude, just keep an eye on that. Yesterday we negotiated around 62. 62 half thereabout right now. If you're a bull, you don't want to see it go beyond 63. That could be a bit of a problem point. But anyway, I think stocks still on the green side today. Maruti, we've been talking about this for some time now. It's back in a mini bull market of its own. And it's been seeing buying even on negative news for last many weeks now. So that's something to watch out for. And something's up with Oriental Bank of Commerce. It's seeing very strong buying, delivery-based buying, and very strong open interest build-up. It's outperformed the PSU bank index by a good 4-5% and is the strongest PSU bank outside of SBI. So I don't know if there's some news flow surrounding it, but the market seems to believe that something's going on because this one's outperforming the PS.
It has a good chance of coming out of PCA. That could be going for it. The numbers were not astounding in the second quarter, but it has single-digit net NPA compared to many others who have double-digit NPA. Net NPA. So they're a little closer to the RBI's threshold of 6% net NPA. But let's see. That's the December 14 RBI meeting that we should watch out for. But yesterday was all about individual stocks. We were not quite prepared for it, but it was Sun and HUL that fired the market up. Hindustan Unilever, after they purchased Horlicks, what are the brokerages saying, Malu?
Well, Lata, brokerages are positive. The stock moved to a record high in yesterday's trading session. No reason to believe it won't do well today as well. So start with Deutsche Bank. They've upgraded the stock to buy. Cumulatively, all the brokerages believe that this deal could be EPS accretive to the tune of 5 to 9%. Some brokerages say 4%. The likes of Citi as well as Jefferies say a potential EPS accretion of 6 to 9% to the FY21 EPS estimates. And this is without accounting for synergies. So we've got two upgrades coming in. Deutsche Bank has upgraded the stock as well as Phillip Capital. Phillip Capital says the fact that it's a share swap deal rather than an all-cash deal was an utter surprise, so they've upgraded the stock as well. But Jefferies says that the valuation at which HUL trades right now leaves no room for error, so they maintain their horses. They have a hold rating on the stock while the others have upgraded.
Okay, a sweet deal there coming in. Valued at almost 32,000 odd crores. But let's hear out what the managements of both the companies have to say on the back of this big deal.
This is a great deal for GSK PLC shareholders, but also importantly GSK Consumer Healthcare shareholders here in India who are getting a premium. And also Unilever, and Hindustan Unilever is a fantastic company. Clearly here in India they have a very famous heritage and fantastic distribution capabilities. So we're delighted, having owned these brands for over almost 100 years, to divest them to Unilever and Hindustan Unilever, and we hope they can take them forward for the next 100 years.
We will increase penetration with special focus on rural markets and emerging channels, and expand our offerings to the fast-growing premium segment. There will also be focus on looking at future-ready formats in line with consumer trends. Our direct coverage is at 3x GSK, and our tech-led capabilities will be a growth multiplier. On the cost side, we see significant benefits across the value chain, and the transactions will be margins and EPS accretive to HUL. Our F&R business post the proposed merger will cross the 10,000 crore mark, making us one of the largest players in the country in the F&R space. We expect the transaction to be completed by December 2019, subject to necessary regulatory approval.
Okay. That's, of course, lever, and what a big move. It was 1,400 just about 1.5 months back after that correction, and from that point, a stunning rally all the way up to all-time highs of 1,800 is what we have on the stock. But Sun Pharma, post the con call, there are still unanswered questions.
Yes, there are. So first the positives, right? Dilip Shanghvi himself was on the call. He assured investors of a highest level of corporate governance. He said if needed, the company will make changes in business transactions to increase transparency. Also, he clarified on Sudhir Walia's role. He said there is no operational involvement of Sudhir Walia. He advises only on finance and strategy. But the big bone of contention really is that 2,200 crore loan that was lent out in FY18. Just to give you the numbers, it was 2,200 crores in FY18 versus just 70 crores in FY17. So that raised a big question as to why was that loan given. The management said this is a business transaction. The loans were given as a part of the pharma business, and they can relook if the loans to employees is not in shareholders' interest. So they acknowledge that. A lot of brokerages have come out. I've just picked out one. Citi has said that the whistleblower complaint will remain an overhang. They need more clarity on the contents of the report, which the management, of course, management does not have that report, so they cannot give clarity on the contents and the potential bearing on the business. So until they get more clarity on that, there could be an overhang on the stock.
Yeah, I did listen in, and it was difficult to accept that we have given a loan, we cannot tell you who it is. But we will reconsider. That seemed to put them a bit on the back foot. But why don't we listen to the management in their own words?
Sun Pharma's relationship with AML is on arm's length basis. As investors have expressed a concern regarding this arrangement, we are in the process of discussing various other options for undertaking domestic formulation business. We are open to the idea of changing this distribution if, based on our interaction with investors, we get a feeling that that is what will make them comfortable. Another issue pertains to Sun Pharma lending some money to 4 individuals without security. This is also 20 years old, which happened in 95-96. The amount of money involved also was very small, a few lakh rupees, and was fully recovered. It's also pertinent to note that these 4 individuals were investigated by SEBI. The appeals tribunal in 2002 has actually given a ruling in favor of these 4 individuals.
Okay, so those are the clarifications that they could, the best that they could. But of course, people still expect an overhang on the stock. So let's see which way things go. Abhishek is also with us to talk about REC and PFC. Abhishek, why are you watching these 2 stocks today?
Sonia, to begin with, news reports suggest that, REC could tap market to make purchase of about 19,000 crore of equity in Power Finance Corporation. Now, REC has a cash surplus of a little less than 1,800 crores, while the government of India holds a little under 66% in PFC. So to make an purchase of these 66%, they need an additional cash of 19,000 crores. Analysts feel that such deal between PSU companies could put pressure on the bond yields as the PSUs raise money from the bond market. CNBC TV 18 has not verified this news report independently.
All right, let's get to another story. Thank you, Abhishek. Reema, why are you watching Bharti?
Lata, I'm watching Bharti as well as Vodafone Idea because reports suggest that the 2 companies could look at jointly co-owning or forming a joint venture which will together own the fiber assets of the 2 companies. Now, this is a report. CNBC TV 18 has not independently verified it and cannot vouch for its authenticity. But when we try to reach out to the company, they say they do not want to comment on speculation. But a bigger company, a joint venture which houses the fiber assets of both Bharti as well as Vodafone is positive because, one, it will help them fight competition better, and secondly, there is an eventual plan to monetize it. So a bigger company will obviously improve the prospects of monetization. Now, if you stack up how the fiber assets will look, if indeed they do join it, Bharti as well as Vodafone Idea together will have fiber assets close to about 400,000 kilometers together, which will be pretty close to what Reliance Jio will own. Reliance Jio has not officially given us the optic fiber, cable network that they have, but estimates suggest it should be close to 250,000. Add to that about 170, 180,000 230,000 of Reliance Communications fiber assets that they've acquired, and then you would believe that Bharti, Vodafone Idea together, combined fiber assets, will be close to that of Reliance Jio. So a step in the right direction for both the companies.
Okay, thanks a lot, Rima, for that. Well, Anisha is also with us. She's going to tell us about a couple of deal wins. Welspun, NCC on your radar today, Anisha?
Well, yes, I'll start with NCC because their buy order was around 220 crores.
Okay, I don't think we can hear you, Anisha, so we're going to ask you to get your mic back on. But Sonal is also here with us to give us some more stocks that are in the news today. Hi, Sonal. Morning.
Good morning, Sonia. Well, I'm watching out for VST tillers because the company has reported its monthly sales numbers. While the power tiller sales were weak, they've declined by around 12.5% on a YOY basis. The tractor sales were strong. They increased by around 22% at 628 units. Expect some red on the stock. Edelweiss will also be in focus because there are reports that a lot of PE funds like TPG, Blackstone, KKR, they are in fray to buy minority stake in Edelweiss wealth and asset management business, and the overall valuation is around 12,000 to 15,000 crore rupees. However, this is not independently verified. Other stock that I'm watching out for is Zydus Wellness because the company has a board meet on 6th of December to consider raising of funds through preferential issue. Of course, it is for funding the Complan deal. So it'll be interesting to see what the company's strategy is going forth. Back to you.
Okay, thanks a lot for that, Sonal. And Anisha, if you've got your voice back, what do you have on your radar?
Well, yes, I was watching out for NCC because they bagged an order worth around 220 crores from the state governments, and they're looking to complete it over a period of 24 to 36 months. Welspun Enterprises is also in focus because they have signed a concession agreement with NHAI, and this is for a large order of 2,000 crores in the HAM or a hybrid annuity model, and this is in the state of Tamil Nadu. But do remember, this is not a fresh order. They had announced it in the month of July itself. The fresh news is that they have got the sanction letter and they expect construction to be done in 2 years. Back to you.
Okay, thanks a lot, guys. So here's a quick recap then of our top stocks to watch. Stocks with positive news flow this morning. Maruti, OBC, HUL, Bharti, Airtel, Vodafone Idea, NCC, Welspun Enterprises, Edelweiss and Zydus Wellness. While stocks with negative news flow today, Sun Pharma, REC and VST tillers on the back of the sales. Let's take a quick break. On the other side, plenty of technical tips lined up. Ashwini Gujral, Sudarshan Sukhani and Mitesh Thakkar will be with us.